Hey guys, welcome back. Behavior Strategies for Class here. And Merry Christmas Eve. You have survived the pre-holiday chaos. Now, I know if you have been a listener this whole month, we talked about surviving the pre-holiday chaos. And now this episode will be coming out Christmas Eve. And I'm recording it a week early because we're going to be out of town. We're going to be with family. And so I wanted to make sure that this was set for you guys. And so we are talking about safeguarding your mind, mental health tips for educators. Now, what we're going to talk about today is nothing new. Like, these are tips that have been around, but I know that we struggle with keeping them, using them, right? We know about them. So remember that you are essential to the success of your students. But how do you hold it all together? What do you do to keep your mental health strong? So we're going to talk about like setting boundaries, practicing that self-care, fostering those supportive communities for you, whether that's at church or any other groups or clubs that you belong to. And hopefully these will encourage you to use one of these more than you have been in the past. All right, guys, let's get to it. Welcome to Behavior Strategies for Class. I am Diane Bachman, your behavior paraprofessional with over 15 years of experience working in special education. And I'm so glad you're here because I'll be teaching you about social emotional learning, behavior strategies, trauma-informed care, and more. So if you are tired of being frustrated and not knowing what to do with your students who have challenging and disruptive behavior, you're in the right place. Now, if you're ready to become more equipped to help your students learn and grow, let's listen in to today's episode. And as always, a reminder to subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast, and share this episode with other educators that you know, so we can continue to learn and grow from each other. And go ahead and leave me a review as well, since you're right there hitting that subscribe button, because that's the way others learn about us as well, other educators. So thank you so much. And also, just to remind people that I am a paraeducator who has worked in special education for almost 10 decades. Yeah, not that old. Almost 2 decades. And I am a trauma certified coach. I am also certified in nonviolent crisis intervention. And so I have been in the classroom with you. And I know how stressful it is. We just had another, situation with one of our students, and it's very stressful because you're kind of always on edge, right? You're always looking or kind of waiting, and maybe that student gets upset about something, and you're just waiting for, the explosive behavior to happen. And so you're just always on edge, and it's very stressful and it's exhausting. Like, we're always on, just like you are. When you're in the classroom, like, you're on, right? You have to be ready for anything and everything, that students come up with. And so we are the same as far as being ready, being kind of on edge at times with our students who are struggling, and trying to help them process through some of these feelings that they're going through because of all the different changes that are going to be coming up during their winter break. So again, just to stress, I know that it's hard, it's exhausting. confusing sometimes. And so you have to be able to pull yourself back and like refuel, right? Refuel so that you are ready to come back and, be fired up, because then we got to make it all the way to spring break. Right? We're always looking for that next break. And so we talk about setting boundaries. Now, we set boundaries with our students all the time. We set boundaries, with our spouses, families, lots of different things where we have to set boundaries. And sometimes we forget to set boundaries when we're at work, right? Because you're in the mode of getting work done, and then somebody else puts something on your plate and you just kind of flow with it, because sometimes you have to. Other times you're just in that mode and you're trying to get stuff done, and now you're just buried and overwhelmed. And so I just want to encourage you, if you are able to set the boundaries of taking in the extra work and being able to have the courage and the freedom to say, you know what, I'm just not going to be able to do that right now. That's going to have to wait until after break, whatever it is. If you are able to do that, I really encourage you to do that, because otherwise, like I said, you just become overwhelmed. And I am definitely a yes person for the most part. I'm like, sure, you want me to do that? Yes, I can do that. Of course I can do that. I can do that. And because we are doers, right? We want to get stuff done. But when we get too overwhelmed and we never say no, sometimes it's just so exhausting in that area as well. And that is definitely not good for your mental health. I was just listening to a video today of a doctor saying that we need at least 7 hours of sleep every night to feel our best. And so if you're overwhelmed because you've taken on so many other things, you're not getting that 7 hours. So I really encourage you, where are you going to set your boundaries? Where, and now I know you're on break, you're not at school, and maybe it's just reminders like with family, because I know there's lots of different family dynamics going on, and you've never been able to say no, or not today, whatever it is with some family members. And I encourage you to try it, and you will feel better, even though you'll probably get some kickback from it. But if you're not in your best space and your best person, like feeling your best as much as possible, you can't show up for anybody else. It's just not good. So I encourage you, set those limits as much as you can, saying no to the extra things where you need time to refuel. And I've definitely found myself saying no more than usual. And not like major things, like really they're fun things. Like I love being with my friends and hanging out and doing certain things. But I've also come to realize like I can't. I really don't have the energy for that. Or I really need to be doing something else instead. Instead of going out over here and putting this off, like I have to learn, like, no, I can't go to dinner that night. I really have to work on this. Whatever it is. You really do feel better. So I encourage you. Number 2 is, like I said, the rest, the sleep. Prioritize rest and recovery. Schedule downtime with whatever calms you. So if you're able to set an hour if you can to just sit and read like your favorite book, listen to your favorite podcast, watch your favorite movie, I don't know, go on your favorite hike, or walk or shop or, be with your friends, be with your family, take a date night with your spouse, your loved ones. Those are really times that I feel sometimes I recover, is when I get the feedback and get that energy from friends and family, hanging out with them. But I also do like my quiet time, my alone time, my let me watch my own shows time. I mean, it's just my husband and I at home, but for the most part, we watch, what he wants to watch, which is fine. But there's definitely certain times like, hey, I want to watch whatever movies or cop shows or whatever it is. I want to be able to sit and watch my shows. And so I have to be able to be like, okay, I just need some time alone. Or maybe it's just time sitting together on the couch, and I don't care what's on, but we're just sitting together. Just taking the time to rest and recover. I definitely have a hard time in that because I feel like if I sit down, I'll sit down for a few and then of course my mind starts going and I'm thinking of, the 500 other things that I should be doing or getting done. And that's not being restful, right? So I know it's hard, but I encourage you to try and prioritize whatever kind of downtime you can get. And I know this is probably not the best time because, again, it's Christmas Eve, it's Christmas time, it's family time, friend time. But maybe it's, after. It's a few days after when you can say, you know what, I just need some downtime. I'm just going to stay home this day and be by myself or just be, with whoever it is in your home and just spend time there. Whatever works for you that you can feel like you get recovery, you get refueled, just prioritize that time as much as you can somewhere in this winter break so that you will feel rested. Number 3 in helping safeguard your mind is reframing expectations. This is another hard one. Like the example they give is letting go of perfection. We want everything perfect. I want everything perfect. Perfect as much as possible because I know this podcast is not perfect, but like I work at our church as well as working at the school and doing the podcast. And so there's a lot of things going on that I like to get done and I want to do them all to the best of my ability. But sometimes, something's going to fall and it's okay. Or to be able to ask for help. Like that's another one that's hard because it's like, well, I know I can get it done faster maybe, or, get it done a certain way. And I have to be able to let some of that stuff go, and that's okay. Or like I said, asking for help and asking someone else to step in and say, hey, I have a lot over here, or like I said, we're going out of town and like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Can you possibly do that? And so just kind of passing that on, asking for help. And sometimes it's just remembering, like, we need to make meaningful connections instead of thinking of like the event. And I know this does kind of count for Christmas. And I am not hosting this year, so I don't get that much pressure this year. But usually, like, I want, the table set perfect. I want everybody to have, all the things that they like and that they want to eat. And, I want the house decorated perfectly. All of these things. And obviously, if you have time for all that, that's great. But when it's an overwhelm and you're stressed out and you're running around and, screaming at the family to be perfect or to get whatever done, it's a time just to like take a breath and be like, it's okay if, say, we use paper plates instead of real plates or, whatever it is. The most important thing is that family or friends or both are going to be together. And being able to be present when they are there is super important, instead of thinking of, well, wait, that's a dirty dish in the sink. Like, I need to go clean that right now, or, whatever it is. We have to be willing to let that go. And that is something that I have learned over the years, because I was definitely the one like, okay, we're all done. Time to clean up. Let me do all the dishes, put everything. And then before I know it, our company is leaving and I didn't really get to spend time with them because I was so worried about cleaning up and making sure everything was in its place. And that's not why, family or friends come over. They're not looking for our perfect house and the perfect setup. They're looking for you and wanting to spend time with you and know, how are you doing? So I know that's hard sometimes. I have been there, definitely. But being able to let go of perfection and focus on those meaningful connections, being present when you have your family and friends around you, you will not regret it. You won't. You won't even think twice about the dishes at that point. Honestly, I have definitely gotten there, and you can get there too. So try that. Number 4, leaning on community, sharing responsibilities. And this community could be just your family, your immediate family. So as my kids got older, they're helping clean, they're helping set up, they're helping, they didn't really help decorate, but they helped clean and they helped do some of the cooking. They helped like setting up the tables, those kinds of things, getting everybody involved. Getting everyone together to help create the atmosphere that you want for those who are coming, for the family times that you are together. Maybe you're planning whatever games that you're going to play. We love to play games as a family. We've done board games, card games, dice games, the charades, the Pictionary, all of that fun stuff. We love playing games. It is very fun. Thankfully, we have not had a ton of any heated discussions during the game. But so it has been a lot of fun. And so if you guys don't, what is it that your family enjoys to do? Maybe you all are playing a video game together. Maybe you're all working on a puzzle together. But you come together as a community. Like your immediate family is your first community, right? And so how can you help share responsibilities of what is happening, especially right now in the holidays? Whether it's the cleanup, whether it's, making beds for family, cleaning off the beds, all of those things, make them shared responsibilities as much as possible. Or like for dinner, we would provide like the main dish, whether it's turkey, ham, and maybe like one dessert. And then the rest of family would bring a side dish to go with the dinner. So that's kind of a shared responsibility as well, because then you are not doing all of the cooking, right? You're sharing that responsibility with the rest of your family. And we had Christmas dinner at our church, and the shared responsibility, like the church provided the main dish, and then we brought in all of the side dishes and desserts. So there's lots of different ways that you can share that responsibility. And I would encourage you to do that with whatever community you have around you besides your immediate family. You know, what shared responsibility can you do? What type of atmosphere do you want for your get-togethers, for your family time, for your friend time? What is it? Do less with intention and be present. I really encourage you to really work on being present. It is so hard, especially nowadays, because we have our phones. And I am definitely guilty of that. Like, wait, I have to look up Pinterest or whatever it is. You know, I can't miss out on whatever it is, right? You're going to miss out on this quick TikTok or short video on YouTube for cleaning tips. Yeah, I like to watch those. You know, it definitely can consume you, and there's no reason for it when you are with the ones you love. Take time. You know, you've seen commercials, and we've done it as a family. Like, when it's time to eat, there's no phones at the table. Phones are put away. When we're playing a game, you know, no phones are at the table. Well, most of the phones are at the table, I must say, but they're like in their pockets or something, but they're not like physically on the table, and they're usually not on the phones, because if they do, we're all giving each other a hard time about it. It's like we all need to be present because we are not together all the time. You know, our family, half of our family lives out of state, and so we don't get those family get-togethers as much as I would love. And so I really have to work on being present, being intentional, taking the time to truly engage and connect with my family and with our friends. And so I really encourage you to do that as well, because these are all tips that will help you safeguard your mind. And especially now, it's Christmas Eve. It's been stressful. Maybe you're still wrapping toys, wrapping gifts, which I loved doing too. I didn't always do it Christmas Eve, but I know some people do, and that's okay. But doing what you can, making sure as much as possible you can set some boundaries with your time, with those you intentionally want to be with as much as possible. Saying no to extra activities when you can. Number 2, prioritizing rest and recovery, refueling. What works for you in calming you down, refueling your spirit, your mind, body, and soul, right? What refuels you? Number 3 is reframing those expectations, being able to let go of some of the things that you just don't have the time for, or you're stressing yourself out in trying to get all of it done, when it's like, you know what, it's okay. I don't have to do whatever it is. I definitely have gotten better with that as well, because I think, okay, well, I have an hour. I can, run this errand, that, thinking I'm running to like 5 different places. And it doesn't work that way. But I would push myself and stress myself out thinking, I have to do this. I have to get it done. Like, it was going to be life or death. when ultimately in reality it wasn't. So think about what are some expectations that you can reframe, and then focus more on making those connections, getting that engagement. And then number 4, lean on the community that you have around you, your immediate family. What are some shared responsibilities you guys can do to help kind of ease the stress off of you, and have everybody pitch in and work together to truly make it an amazing time for you to be with friends and family during this time. So remember, do less with intention and be present. Guys, I hope that you truly are enjoying your time off of school and with family, with friends, enjoying some quiet time, refreshing, refueling, because this truly will renew your mind. And these are great mental health tips for you. So which one do you need to work on? Which one are you going to try to work on? Which one will truly make a difference? So figure out which one you're going to try. And I would love to hear, how did it work out for you? Send me a message, email me. You can find me on all the socials, check the show notes. And I want to leave you with this quote from Bright Flight. And it says, "You may not hear thank you today, but somewhere a student's future is brighter because of you." So continue to shine bright, restore yourself, and remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I truly appreciate your support. And if I have encouraged you, motivated you to continue to learn, to support your students, even better, to help them strive in your classroom, please leave a review, hit that subscribe button so that others can see they can learn and grow here as well. Thank you.